And then we move from the idea of double consciousness, borderlands consciousness, as we're connecting the two texts up, to the idea of from writing, reading to language. So Du Bois's text is really a classic, Western text. It's a classic, intellectual heritage text. I mean, it's written like Shakespeare or Plato. It's coming from that tradition, right? And so it's really an emphasis on the idea of writing, right? So he's really working different ideas of writing. He's writing in a wonderful way. It's some of the greatest prose, one of the greatest texts that we have within our American literary culture. And he's also emphasizing the idea of reading. Okay, so he's writing it to be read, of course, but he's also making an argument for textual culture. Whereas Anzaldúa is also going to be writing. She's a big advocate of writing, as we see in chapter 6, but it's a different type of writing that she's talking about there, more of an aesthetic writing, artistic writing. But really, the huge issue that you're going to find here is the idea of language, that she's going to bring the idea of double consciousness or borderlands mestiza consciousness to the idea of language. And her language, right, will be permeated with this idea. So she's really going to make it difficult for us as readers because she is not going to be operating with one language. She is going to be operating with multiple languages. She's not going to be operating with a standard language. She's going to be operating with trans forms of languages or translinguistic forms of languages, where she's mixing things together, mixing different languages together, sometimes in one sentence. So it's going to be a radical type move that she makes, but she's trying to draw our attention not so much to the text, right, the textual tradition, but to the linguistic tradition. From patriarchal hetero to matriarchal queer. Okay, so she is, Du Bois is, of course, a man, a heterosexual man. He's writing from, that perspective. And what we're going to get with Anzaldúa is she's writing from a more matriarchal or feminist, womanist perspective, as well as a queer perspective. Okay, from black to brown, obvious there too. So Du Bois writing from the African American experience, and Anzaldúa is writing from the Mexican American experience.